Yeah, this is Sam with Tusken TV, man, and we're just out driving. I'm driving home. Talk about some new things that are happening. New things are happening for me. I thought about go ahead and start recording some vlogs on the way home, just talking about some of the new stuff I hear about. I just had a little email. I didn't get to look at the picture or anything, but it's the Hasbro Pulse, and I think it was the shattered glass Jetfire. So I've seen pictures of it, but I haven't got to look very much in detail of it. But I do like that color scheme it's got. Some people are going to hate on that color scheme, but I don't think it looks that bad. I don't think it looks that bad at all. I haven't got to dive into it. I haven't got to really check it out. I'm going to do that when I get home. I just have the lav mic on. I'm just kind of just driving, going at my own pace. You know, have any of you guys seen The Black Widow? I have seen The Black Widow. I saw it on opening night. Took the wife, took my son. We went and saw it. I thought it was better than what I expected. I can't go into too much detail, but I will tell you, the starting sequences were a little darker. It had a really dark tone to the whole movie, which you have to put yourself into that place of where the movie starts off and where it actually ends from another movie. So I forget that. I forget that the other movies are done, and this is kind of like a continuation of a in between. So the feel of it is like, it felt odd when I watched it. It wasn't until I went home and I was like thinking about it. I was like, okay, this part makes sense. This makes sense. The intro was a little long for me. You know, you kind of get that backstory of Natasha. There's parts of it I was like, man, we kind of already heard this, but I was like, man, it makes sense now. So after sitting at home and thinking about it, a lot of it makes sense. Some of my favorite parts are later on in the movie, but overall, I thought it was pretty decent. Someone asked me, scale of 1 to 10, what I'd give it, and I said a 6. Now, after thinking about it, I'd probably give it a 7.5. Easy 7.5. Was it the greatest Marvel movie ever made? No. Was it the worst Marvel movie made? I don't think so. It's probably in the lower movies for me. It's not one of the best ones, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. David Harbour, the Red Guardian, was great in that movie. I thought he was great. He played the character very well. And I believe the character was Elena. Her character was freaking awesome. I loved it. I thought it was a pretty good movie. There's some characters I didn't like, but go watch it. You know, come to your own decision, man. Comment down below if you have seen it. Let me know what you thought about it. Did you think it was trash, or you think it was like totally amazing? I didn't think it was trash. I thought it was somewhere in between totally amazing and trash. But that's besides the point. So any new toys you guys seen out there? Oh, there's one toy that I want to pick up, and that's Turbo Man. If I could find myself a Turbo Man, oh man, I'll be so happy. I actually want to get 2 Turbo Mans. Actually, my wife wants a Turbo Man for herself, and I want one for my shelf. I've recently found myself taking down a lot of the things that I've bought lately, just because it looks to be too cluttered on my shelves. Like my He-Man stuff's up there looking pretty sweet. My Transformers are down there, but man, I had a little too much of the Funko Pops. I know that might sound crazy to some of you guys, but I just felt like it was like caving in on me or something. Not really caving in on me, but it was just like too much. Some people like a lot of one thing. I was watching a lot of episodes of Hoarders, and that's what it felt like. I would go into my little man cave area, and it felt like the walls were closing in on me. And it was bizarre. So I started to like put stuff away, not selling it or anything, but just like putting it away, tidying up a little bit. I want it to be a little bit minimum on my shelves. So I'll probably end up getting a couple more shelves and spreading out the collection, spreading out the Masters of the Universe, the Masters of the WWE I have quite a bit of both of those, and just kind of like give them some space, give them some room to breathe. That way when I visually look at them, it's not like cluttered. I want to do something with that. I haven't done anything with my lights yet. I haven't put up any new lights. Kind of just using a ring light right now for lighting in there, and I have a new light up top, but I didn't put up any of my LED reds and blues, none of that stuff. I actually moved one of my video games, my Star Wars Arcade 1-Up, took that and put it upstairs in the game room. And I actually got another video game I got for $115 plus tax, or $115.99 plus tax. I picked up the Pac-Man, one of the anniversary games, and it comes with 7 games. It has Galaga, has like Pac-Man Land and a whole bunch of other ones. So I recently got that, and I put that up in the game room, and I have Star Wars and the Pac-Man sitting right next to each other. So we go up to the theater room that we have, watching the movies. I like to turn on the lights up there, and I like just hearing the sounds. It's very reminiscent of the old days when you go to the arcade, in the movie theater, and you would, go to the movie theater and they'd have that arcade next to it, and you would play some games while you're waiting for the movie or after the movie, back in the day. You might still do that now, but a lot of theaters don't have arcades next to them or inside anymore. So it's pretty fun for me. But I haven't been able to find any new toys lately. It's really dry in Oklahoma. I haven't seen anything in Oklahoma City in a long time. And so some of the videos I've been making have been so dead. Like, I have not found anything, like nada. And so I might find a couple things here and there, but it's like nothing I want to collect. I'm really hoping to see some more He-Man hit. Now the He-Man, I believe it's Revelations, found a whole merchandiser full of them. I'm not a fan of that figure. Some people are gonna say I'm crazy for it, but I'm not really a fan of it. I think it looks all right. Just not my bag. I'd rather have the old stuff. I guess I'm more nostalgic. And I wanted to talk about nostalgia, being nostalgic. All right, so I've noticed since basically everything that happened in 2020 and 21, with everything that's going on, I've been really nostalgic and holding on to certain things and collecting figures that I never did before, like the He-Man. Now, I loved the He-Man as a kid. The problem with me being a kid is I grew up in a very low income housing, and we didn't have a lot of money. My mom did her best to do it, with what she had, and we had food on the table, roof over our heads, heat and air, so that's all good. You know what I mean? We didn't have any cable. We didn't have really any video games unless we bought them for ourselves, or video game systems. That's how I got my work ethic. I worked for everything I have. Always did hard work. So I've been getting He-Man and stuff like that. I've been noticing that, and I've really noticed that. Has collecting to me come from like some kind of PTSD type situation? I don't know. I really don't know. It's like I've been like holding on to things. So I've noticed I've been collecting a lot more of things that I've been wanting as a childhood. I wasn't able to get, because now I can get them. I'm an adult, own a house, own my own car, all that good stuff. Worked really hard for it, and now I'm kind of like rewarding myself for all this hard work, by collecting some of the Transformers, some of the He-Man that I missed out when I was a kid. Just going to the movies. It's always been like a family tradition of ours to go to the movies. And when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to the movies and enjoy movies in the cinema. And I can remember probably like maybe 10 movies that we've seen when I was a kid. It's because we didn't have the money to do it. But I have really good fond memories of those movies. And I have really fond memories of certain movies on VHS. And one of them is Return of the Jedi. I wore that VHS out. I swear I wore that VHS out. We'd go over to my dad's house and eat pizza with my dad, and we'd throw on that movie. We probably watched that movie like 2 or 3 times. It didn't even matter. We loved that movie. I still love that movie to this day, Return of the Jedi. Throw it on any time of the day, listen to it. I just, I have this connection to that film. But I don't know where I'm going to go with this video. I just thought I'd talk about little things I'm feeling today. I'm feeling a little nostalgic today. I'm feeling my He-Man collection. I want those bad boys to breathe. I want my Transformers to be able to breathe and show off. I just get tired of them being so cramped up. You guys feel that way sometimes? You feel like your collection is becoming a clutter and not really something you want to look at anymore? Sometimes that happens to me. And then sometimes I got to take a breather and step back and rearrange certain things and take stuff down and then put it in a box, and I'll go back through that box when I'm taking other stuff down. And I'm like, hey, it's not like I forgot I had it, but it's like seeing it again brings a whole new spark to my day. And I think that's where I'm getting at. It's like you look at it and you enjoy it, you touch it and you enjoy it. You're able to physically have it in your hands. It's no longer a dream or a hope or a want. It is what you have, and you have it right now. And that's what I'm just reminiscing, and I'm just enjoying that life right now. And I love collecting toys, and I love Star Wars, and I love Masters of the Universe, even though I watch the cartoon right now. It's so cheesy, but I love it. Same with Transformers. all the G1 stuff. But something about thinking about the childhood and what I wanted when I was a kid, now I get to have, and now I get to spread that to my son, and hopefully to grandkids one of these days, and that would be amazing. And I think that's what I'm just gonna close the video with. And just love what you have right now. You know what I mean? Sometimes something you want is not necessarily something you need. And I think that's where I'm gonna close this at.